Hello. Qu'est-ce que c'est? Ah. How you guys doing? Hope you're discoing. Any language, every language. Oui, c'est moi. Je m'appelle. Je me l'ai vu. Tiens, mais oui. Mais c'est moi. How you guys doing? I hope you're doing fine. I hope you're doing wonderful. I hope you are disco in every language. Unfortunately, I'm super bearish as when I was last video, and unfortunately, gold and silver topped, and I think the market is going through a correction. I do what I believe in. I follow the textbook, and that's why I do this for a living. I back test everything I do. I do this for a living. So, all right. So this is the VIX, and we are forming now a mini head and shoulder with the semi bullish indicators, because you have a higher reading. That's for the stochastic, higher than 20. And you still have a bullish MACD and a higher reading in the RSI. So we're definitely basing in a very important area when it comes to the VIX. So when you have these type of candles at the bottom, it's always bullish. You have an inverted hammer, you have an indecisive doji. It's not a doji, it's an indecisive candle here, and rejection. And you do have a low, and you have a higher high. And now you may form a higher low. So it's definitely bullish action and change in sentiments for the VIX. Oh, Marona mio, Sacramento, Santa Lucia. This is the real McCoy now. This is the thing that's gonna tear the market apart. It's gonna affect everything. This is, I'm sure this bad boy would break out with this clean breakout with 1, 2, 3 reversal. I'm sure there's fundamental reasoning. I'm 100% sure, because this is Forex, baby. This is the most liquid market in the world, along with the debt security market and bonds. I'm telling you, this will not happen if there is no fundamental reason, real change. So this change will affect the valuation in the stock market, and will definitely affect gold and silver and gold miners. So what did we have? A clean, beautiful, sexy breakout with 1, 2 reversal, and you closed at the high for the dollar. Oh, Marona mia, this is the daily. Look at this. If you put the Dow Industrial or SPY over the RSI of this bad boy, you will see the effect of the RSI when it goes over 50, and the destruction that does to everything. And this bad boy came with positive divergence and a bullish disco combo. Please don't take this lightly. Believe it or not, the market is controlled by speculators and people that are not very smart, and that are playing with people's money. And you will see the effect of this next week. I am 100% sure about that, but I don't know the future. It's all about my belief. So you have a beautiful, clean breakout with 1, 2, or 3 reversal. So the weekly, look at this bad boy. Oh God, that's not good. So you have this Marbuzu, it's semi-Marbuzu. It's only a little bit of trading beneath the open, and look at that. So you closed at the high. That's for the week. Look at this bad boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Bullish MACD. Oh my God. RSI over 50 in the weekly time frame, and high reading stochastic. Okay. So let's see what happened. Okay, 13th of Feb. We know everything went through meltdown. Okay. Let's look at this. Okay, we know what happened in 2021, September. Late, actually, it's about November when everything melted down in the stock market. Okay, So this always affected everything right here. So this move screwed the market. This is a bear market move for the stock market and for gold, for everything right here. Okay. The RSI is back, and see, I don't get bearish because I have narratives. No, I get bearish because of the chart. Another thing I noticed with the higher highs in the MACDs, usually when you have 3 higher highs in the MACDs, something bad happens. So you also low, sorry. So a low, a low, a low, boom, you are over the zero line. Something bad happens. So if you think the market is fully priced right now, you are mistaken. And if you backtest it, you will know. Sometimes it takes them days to react to this. This thing caught them with their pants down. Okay. If you get anything from my video, just look at just repeat, rewind, and rewatch my UUP, the ETF for the dollar by itself. Okay, this is my disco signal, and it's still in a bullish disco signal for the equity put to call. The 20-day moving average is definitely above the 50, and usually when this happens, something bad happen in the market, in the equity put to call, because it has inverse correlation with the equity market and gold. Good deal. IWM, this is early warning when we had the death cross in late April, and boom, it is definitely underperforming the whole market. Okay, definitely it's not good. IWM is definitely in a bear market mode with bearish disco signal. Okay, I don't think it's that bad in the weekly. Let's see what's going on in the weekly. Oh God, oh boy, ugh. Yo, oh my God, you have a major death cross too. Golly, and dang, a bearish disco combo in the weekly. Whew. This needs a lot of energy, and usually when you have high and lows in the MACD, okay, and it get broken, major shift happens in the trend. See, it is treated like a trend line, a major shift. So I'm not really bearish because I want to be bearish. No. I'm bearish because if you understand what I'm talking about, you will know that is technically based, okay? And now we have a death cross in the making. Oh my own, it is due next week. Death cross. The 50-week moving average will go below the 200 moving average. This didn't happen for a very long time. If you are bullish in the market now, I really want to see your narratives now. How did you get? It's impossible to be bullish now based on conventional technical analysis. Maybe you look at Elliott Wave and you're always giving me all that bull. I used to be I am an Elliott-ish. It is, you always change the counts. Believe you me, I did it all the time. So there is no way you have a technical reason of being bullish. Do you see that death cross 50-200 week moving average? Is that good enough for you to be bearish? Okay. So there is no way you can convince me that these type of candles are good in the market, and there's no way you can convince me and this bearish MACD below the zero line in the weekly time frame with the broken trend line here and there, and by next week you go below 20 on stochastic, and Maroon, every time you go below 20 in stochastic, something bad happened in the market. Okay, always. Sometimes you would have an embedded reading like you had here. Oh God, during that pandemic. Okay, see? So do I hate investing. Do I have anything against investors? No, I look at the charts. So let's talk about the specs, the S&P 500. What I see a sideways movement that is really, really hard to trade. And I see a bearish disco signal. And if you know me, you will know how much I hate the possibility of a kiss MACD. Look what happened here with the kiss MACD. Okay? By the way, that movement in the dollar came with the kiss MACD, bullish kiss MACD. So you really have a possibility of a kiss MACD. This is the S&P. Look at the inverse ETF, SDS. Look how you can see this is bullish movement, and you building a base at the bottom and you closing above the 20-day moving average, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 indecisive candle close to this low. So you're forming a low, and it's extremely possible that you're forming a higher low. And do remember, usually when you hug 20-day moving average, this is the standard deviation in the Bollinger Band. Usually when you hug it that long, there's a good possibility, especially if you close above it, there's a beautiful, good possibility that you're gonna hit the upper end of the Bollinger Band. And usually when you go through this pipe formation, most likely you will have volatility. And in this case, it's extremely probable that we have an explosive up move for SDS, which means a meltdown in SPIX and SPY and S&P 500. And remember, this is the KISS formation. I'm worried about in the SPIX, but I'm not worried about in SDS. And you do have a bullish disco combo, you know? So it happens, the setup here, you have a lower low in the price action, higher low everywhere, then an explosive move. And this happened during a Feb movement. You have this higher low in the indicators, which is bullish divergence, and boom. And you have that back in November, December, and boom, you can see it here. So this pattern repeats itself all the time. Look, I don't know the future, but if you look at this pipe formation and this bottom formation and the 20 and 50 and 200 period moving average in IWM, you will know why I'm bearish in the stock market right now, and I'm not being a radical. Let me look at the New York Stock Exchange because it's forming a major sell signal in the weekly time frame, right? NAA. Okay. So let's make it only stochastic. And the same thing is happening here. Exactly the same thing. Okay, let's look at the weekly time frame. A major sell signal. A fresh one. Bearish disco combo. Okay. Below 50. If you notice that the UUP is the mirror image of that. Okay. What happens usually when this happens? A meltdown usually happens. It happened 6th of March, and boom, see that? And before that. So I'm not making that up. This reflects the change of sentiment in the market, okay? So definitely that is not, you can't take this lightly. Let me look at the weekly time frame for the Dow Industrial. It's a lot of points. Oh yeah, the same thing. Same thing. So a major sell signal in the Dow and the New York Stock Exchange in IWM in the daily and weekly time frame. So if it bounces next week, if it goes up to the stars, at least I am playing with the book. And if you understand technical analysis, you know I'm not making that up. GLD. A typical topping process, you have a high and a higher high in the price action, and the opposite is true everywhere, especially when you miss the 70 points when you have almost a yearly high. Okay, so boom, that's what happens, especially when you have a bull trap, a major bull trap, with the banking system meltdown. So if this is usually when you have a top, a fundamental reason for this, then a bull trap, then a meltdown, and believe you me, even if it goes to 5,000 tomorrow, based on my studies, it topped, and I'm usually right in gold. If you watch my videos, you know what I'm talking about. And plus, the speculators are everywhere in the COT report, and they usually are not very bright. The speculators are definitely people with money but with no brain. Sometimes the real estate people, they think they can do the same thing with real estates. The stock market needs more higher intelligence than real estate. I'm really sorry. I'm not trying to be mean, but they don't need that much skills in finance, in behavioral finance, and in conventional finance. So yes, gold is topping, and I've been seeing these signals for years and years and years, and I think we're not gonna see the top of gold for the next 7 months, at least 6-7 months. So this is definitely a cycle top for gold. SLV, same thing. Oh, Madonna mia. It's exactly the same thing. So you had a major bull trap. You made a higher high, then you gap, and you gap, and you gap, you double gap. So it's not good. And you trapped the bulls here, and you made a lower low than this high. So you definitely bull trap here and bull trap here. Oh, there's nothing beautiful about SLV at all, period. It's sad. And it's definitely the speculators are everywhere, even in SLV and silver. What gamblers, man. They offend me. The very presence of speculators offends me. And this is the stochastic only for SLV in the weekly time frame every time. And by the way, by next week it's gonna go below 80. Every time this bad boy goes below 80, a correction happened in the market, in the equity market. So a meltdown is in business. What is the percentage? 100% of the time in the past. 100%. As a chartist, I did a lot of independent studies, so this is one of my discoveries. Whenever you have a hype over silver in the weekly time frame and the stochastic go up to overbought and goes down, a meltdown happen everywhere. Good deal. So this is GLD, GDX ratio, and it's definitely in. I get absolutely extremely bearish on GDX once I seen this KISS formation. KISS formation. Before the meltdown, by the way. KISS formation. And if you listen to my videos, if you watch my videos, KISS formation are the most violent ones. So this is GLD GDX ratio. If it goes up, GDX go down. Okay? And we're definitely in a bullish disco mode with discus MACD, and we don't know what's going to happen. We might have a long way to go with some corrections on the way. So GLD GDX ratio is definitely a scary one. Let's look at the GLD Newmont ratio in the weekly time frame using only the MACD. Golly. We're only starting, sweetheart. We're only starting over the zero line in the weekly time frame. This is not good for gold miners, I promise you. You can back test it and let me know. Okay? Last time it happened before a major correction in gold miners. Major. Okay? I really don't have to tell you what happened here. Major. It's sometimes it's a long 3 to 4 months to 6 month cycles. Okay? So I'm not here to hate on you, gold miners. I'm just looking at the chart. Okay, so finally, the Bitcoin. It's definitely very crazy, and I did a lot of trend lines here. So this head and shoulder, you could use this trend line, and it's below it, and this is I think the green one is the neckline, and we are definitely in breakdown mode in Bitcoin, and there's nothing beautiful about that with the bearish disco combo with the normal bearish MACD, the normal topping formation for the Bitcoin. So in conclusion, the UUP RSI in the daily time frame is almost 60 something, and this always result in liquidation mode everywhere. Even in the weekly time frame, it's over 50, and this always results in liquidation mode everywhere. SLV stochastic is going from overbought to below 80 next week in the weekly time frame, and this always result in correction and liquidation mode everywhere. Nothing beautiful about gold miners, nothing beautiful about the market so far, with the speculators trying to hold the market, but they cannot hold it that long. I have nothing. I love the market. I'm not that negative person that just wants everything to go down. So in conclusion, a meltdown does not mean the end of the financial market. It could be a correction of 3% in the Dow, 3% in the S&P. I really don't know. I truly don't know. All I know now, I'm all cash, and they cannot touch the market at all, except if it's a day trading, and I cash before the market closes. Okay, so please, before I end, please like, please share, please subscribe, and do remember, this goes forever.